be big mad when they see you happy. Keep my body buttered up and my head is nappy. Live your life and not let your problems consume you. That's what you call faith. Go and get your some boo. Niggas got me fucked up. Niggas got me fucked up. They got me fucked up. Niggas got me fucked up. Niggas got me fucked up.
What's up, what's up, what's up? Welcome to Ami's World. Today we are doing something a little different, introducing to my channel, okay? I'm coming to you guys with a story time / a mukbang of a salad that I made. It has spinach, eggs, bell peppers, avocado, cheese, tomatoes, cucumbers, and I'm going to put steak and shrimp inside of it. So let me get it prepared, let me get it ready. How y'all doing today? What's going on? What's popping? It's a beautiful day on this side today. The sun's shining bright. As you can see, natural lighting's popping right now. I don't need the ring light. This is all natural light. Get it, get it, get it. Get with it, get with it, get with it. So today I'm coming to you guys with a story time about something that's pretty funny / ridiculous. Basically, how I got these stitches right here, my very first pair of stitches. Yay me! But let me get this salad prepared. Let me get it ready to be crushed so I can give y'all all of my undivided attention. Right now we have the red wine vinegar and olive oil dressing. Okay, let's stick a little in that. And I like to double up. If I got it, I like to double up. This is the light Caesar dressing / marinade. Dude. Love this stuff. Absolutely love this stuff. And also what I like to do after I get my salad together, I like to mix it all up to make sure it's spread evenly and distributed on every portion of my salad. So this is what I do. Cover it up and shake it all up. You might break a little sweat, but I promise you it's worth it. Make sure you hit all the angles. All right, let's check on that. Yes. That's how we like it, baby. Look at this. Look at this greatness. Yes. Yes. Are you hungry? Alright, so let me say my grace. Heavenly Father, Lord, thank you, Lord Jesus, for this food in front of me. Thank you, Lord Jesus, for the nutrients I'm about to receive. And may it nourish my body in the way that my body needs. And I thank you, Lord Jesus, for your love and your mercy and your blessings always. Amen. Let's eat. Let me get a couple bites in though, because I'm hungry. I'm starving. Like Marvin. I'm starving. I have to get some lotion. My hands are ashy. Can't be eating and looking crazy, huh? Anyway. So, the story is about these stitches right here. It's 14 stitches in total. Off of me doing some dumb stuff when I was young, but when you're young, that's what living young and doing dumb stuff is for, to make your mistakes and do dumb things, then to have stories like this later, right? So basically, I want to say this happened to me when I was about maybe like 11 or 12, maybe even 13 years old. I'm not really sure. That was so long ago. But basically what happened was, you know, back in the day, me and my friends, we used to play in vacant apartments, you know, in the old neighborhood I used to live in when I was young. I know it's bad. Don't judge me, judge your mother. But we used to play in vacant apartments when we were young. So this one particular day, just a normal day in the neighborhood, we found a vacant apartment. The norm was to try to slide the door, the window open, or see if the door was unlocked to go in. So this day the door was locked. It was not unlocked, it was locked. So we tried the window. The window was locked, as it seemed. My friend tried it first. My friend, she's about a couple years older than me. She was like my sister's age, also my sister's friend. So me and my sister and my older sister shared like the same friends. So this day it was just me and two of her older friends. So they tried to open the door, open the window. It wouldn't open. We just wanted to go play a little hide and seek, just the normal, you know, day in the neighborhood, just play a little hide and seek. So what happened was they tried to open the window and it didn't open. So I'm thinking like, okay, well, let me try. Maybe, you know, I have some type of way to finesse this window to get it open. I've been doing this. We've been doing this for so long. There has to be a way to get in. So I'm pulling window by force, and it breaks, just shatters. My arm goes in, well, this arm. My arm goes in, and I just immediately, from the shock of it all, pull it out so fast, and we just start running, right? Next thing you know, my sister's friend / my sister tells me, oh my gosh, Aminata, you're bleeding. I look at my arm, all I see is flesh and blood gushing. Whole time, I'm grounded, so I'm not even supposed to be outside. That's the funny part about all this. I am grounded. My mom's at work, my dad is at work, but I still took my butt outside and got cut up. That's a lesson to you folks, okay? Don't do nothing you don't have no business doing, especially if you're in trouble. Don't get yourself into more. If you're in trouble already, don't do any extra shit to probably get yourself in even more trouble, because trouble will follow and follow and follow until you learn your lesson. That's for sure. So she tells me, oh my gosh, Aminata, you're bleeding. And I'm just like yo. The crazy thing is, because of the shock, I didn't feel a single thing. I literally just saw flesh and blood. And in this moment, I don't feel no pain. I literally am just like, oh my gosh. I'm freaking out. We run into my house. We grab all the paper towels we can grab for me to try to put pressure on it to stop the bleeding. Of course, that paper towel is not going to stop a bleeding of the gash that big. So luckily, the next building over, my other friend's mom was a nurse. So I ran over there and showed her what was going on. I showed her what happened. I'm literally bleeding crazy. She instantly grabs her son's t-shirt, rips it up, and wraps it around my arm for pressure. Like literally wraps it around my arm for pressure. She's getting together all these things, all these, I don't know, just medical stuff. I don't even know what anything was. She was grabbing it all together. She takes it off, takes the t-shirt off. She's putting literally everything. I'm feeling all this stuff burning. It's hurting, pain, but because of the shock of it all, I'm just like numb to it. I'm just like, I need to fix this. I need to get better. I need to figure out a way how my parents won't find out about this. But she told me, you're gonna have to get stitches. My heart dropped, because I was like, there's no way I'm getting away with this now. I'm supposed to be grounded. I'm not even supposed to be outside, let alone be breaking windows to vacant apartments. And then on top of that, I cut myself up and destroy my skin to the point they have to take me to the hospital to get stitches. Oh, this situation is about to be beyond grounding now. At this point, I'm just like, oh nah, I'm in deep shit. So basically, I'm getting all, you know, patched up and stuff like that. She wraps the t-shirt back around my arm after she puts all these burning things on my arm to stop the bleeding and to, like, you know, make sure it doesn't get infected or anything like that, to hold me together until my parents arrive. So excuse me. Basically, she puts the t-shirt, her son t-shirt, literally my arm was so stiff. She put it so freaking tight. I felt like I didn't have no blood circulating through this arm. Like, it was so tight and so stiff, and she wrapped it with duct tape. Duct tape, okay? So that's how, just imagine how stiff that was, how hard it was, how my arm was just like, I couldn't even do nothing. I just felt like Mr. Roboto. Literally. But anyway, so basically, as I'm sitting there waiting for one of my parents to show up, my dad shows up first, and I'm at their house, my friend's house still. My dad shows up first, and he's an African parent. I'm Sierra Leonean, West African, to be exact. For those of you who don't know where Sierra Leone is in West Africa, and both of my parents are from there, basically. So He came, he showed up, and the thing is with African parents, like, their sympathy is very different. It's more so like they want to make sure you learn your lesson. Like, they want to make sure they put some type of philosophy in there or some type of situation to be like, well, that's what you get. Next time you'll know better. Next time you'll learn. So my dad showed up and he's just like, what is wrong with you? You're not supposed to be outside. You're not supposed to be there. You're not supposed to go outside. You're grounded. What is wrong with you? Literally, my arm is stiff. I'm in pain. I'm bleeding. My flesh is out. And he's literally screaming at me. He doesn't even greet me. He doesn't even make sure I'm okay. He starts screaming instantly. You're not supposed to be outside. What is wrong with you? You're grounded. Why are you doing this? Just screaming at me. And I'm just there like, dude, really? Is this the time? Like, you can check me any other time. Why today? Why now? Why now? I'm basically just like, really nigga? Really? So, man, he was just kirking on me. He didn't really even care about what I was going through at the moment. He just had to force a lesson on me. He had to just force it to let me know, this is what you get. We told you not to go outside. You were grounded. But when you're young, outside is life. I risk everything to go outside. Because when you're young, outside is life. Okay? Period. But anyway, so basically, after he yells at me, I'm quiet. We go to my house, literally the next building over. My mom, we sit there and wait for my mom to arrive. She arrives. And we take a trip to the hospital. Right? So we get to the hospital and they confirm I need stitches. So they left me to get the stitches done. Man, I feel like this is what birthed my fear of needles. I have a big fear of needles. And the thing is, like, anytime I have to get my blood drawn or anything, I have to get a needle for anything, I can't look at the needle because I would literally run. I would literally be like, whatever this is, I don't need it. I'm done. I'm out. So I'm surprised I even have piercings. You know what I'm saying? Because the trauma was real. It was real. But I have some piercings or whatever. But what I have to do is just not look at the needle. As long as I don't look at the needle, I'm good. So what happened was they pulled out the needle and I looked at it and I was like, they're about to stick this in my arm. Alright, so they had to numb it. And that was like literally the most excruciating pain I could think of right now. It was like they literally stuck the needle in my arm like about a good 20 times, maybe more, to numb everywhere. Literally wherever they're going to stitch, they stuck a needle. Wherever they were going to stick the needle in to sew, they stuck a needle. So I'm literally feeling it. This time I'm feeling it, but I'm still in shock of it all. Then I'm not responding to it. I'm not crying. I'm not like, ow. I'm literally like just sitting there, just feeling it. I'm like so numb to it because of still in shock about the whole thing. My first time getting stitches, my first time seeing a cut that big, let alone on my body. I don't know what to do. I didn't know how to act. So basically they stuck the needle, and I actually felt this one right there on the end. I felt that where she literally stuck the needle in and stuck the needle on the other side, and I felt her actually sew that side because wherever they stuck the needle, it was supposed to be numb and she was supposed to sew with ease, and I wasn't supposed to feel anything, but I felt that. I felt that needle. I felt that sewing, I'm sorry. And that joint was real. It was real. So after that was done, I found out, because they had to take me in to get x-rayed to make sure I didn't hurt anything else in the process, because my elbow was hurting like crazy. I had excruciating pain on my elbow. I found out after everything had settled down that when I went to get the x-ray, I found out that I fractured my elbow, and I had 2 more stitches back here from cutting my elbow in the same situation. So what happened was, when the glass shattered and my arm went in, I pulled my arm out and cut myself on the remaining glass on the windowsill, and I hit my elbow while I was pulling it out. which fractured it and cut up this first. So it basically was like a doom on my arm. That's basically what happened. But I literally didn't feel it as it happened because of the shock of the glass shattering. I just wanted to get out there because I knew I wasn't supposed to be outside. So I just tried to get out there so I could just run away from it and say it wasn't me. But obviously now they know it's me because, you feel me? So I fractured my elbow, got 14 stitches in my arm, 2 more in my elbow. The real sad part of all, the real sad part of it all was that our school, me and my older sister's middle school, was taking us to Six Flags. And back in the day, Six Flags was a big deal. It was the best thing ever. Best amusement park. Those from Maryland know. Six Flags was that spot. That great spot. You know? And our school gifted us with a trip there every year. So my older sister, she's already been there for 2 years, and this is my first year, and this was her last year. So I was so excited to go with her, her friends, my friends, to experience Six Flags with like the school and like, you know, just some fun stuff. It's a free trip, like who wouldn't want to go? But unfortunately, because I just got my stitches, I literally had a cast on because my elbow was fractured. I couldn't even really move my arm, period. I couldn't go because I wanted to be a dummy, because I was so pressed to be outside, because I was so pressed to play hide and seek in a vacant apartment, because I freaking hurt myself. I take the L and I couldn't go to the amusement park with my sister and my friends because I wanted to be a little dummy. And I have a lot more stories of where I've been a curious cat. I've really effed myself up like throughout my whole childhood life, like just being so curious and just being so adventurous. And I'm still adventurous today, but I'm not as stupid. Obviously, I'm smarter. I learned from my mistakes, but there's a lot of dumb stuff that I've done as a child. And my mom was just like, man, what am I gonna do with you? Basically, she's just like, what am I gonna do with you? Like, you just never learned, you know? And unfortunately, like, I had to learn a lot of things like the hard way by like hurting myself. I'm grateful because I can live to tell the tale. And this is one of many, and this one's slight. This is a slight one, even though I hurt myself and I have this on me for life. It's slight compared to a lot of the other stuff that I put myself through. But basically, that's my story time. I did some effed up shit and boy, and I paid the price. So moral of the story is listen to your parents, kids. They know what's best for you. If they ground you, it's not because they hate you. It's not because they want to take your life away from you. It's for your own good. And me being grounded for that reason is a whole different story anyway, for why I was grounded. But I wasn't supposed to be outside anyway. And look, I ended up hurting myself because I wanted to disobey my parents. And now I have a scar to remind me of it every day of my life. And I ended up missing up on something that was very special to me and that I was really excited to do. Go to Six Flags with my older sister and her friends and my friends. My first year in middle school, her last year for us to do something together. And I effed myself up and I effed my opportunity up. And guess what? She and her friends still went without me. Still had fun without me.
Got it!
So, kids, don't be like me. Just don't be like me when I was young. Even adults, don't be like me when I was young today either. So, at the end of the day, that's the moral of the story. I hope you guys enjoyed my story time of how I got these stitches on my arm. And let me know if you want to see any more story times. I think that was pretty fun for me to tell. And I didn't really get to too much of my salad because I was just really thoroughly explaining the story. But this joint is bomb and I'm about to finish this off of camera. I really hope you guys enjoyed. Like this video. Comment down below what you want to see next. And let me know if you have any dumb stories so make me feel a little better about my dumb situations and my dumb decisions when I was young. Until next time, thank you guys for joining me on Ami's World. Mwah.